What's up, YouTube? So I don't know if you guys can guess where I'm at, but 2 years ago in July just happens to be my birthday month, we were here. We made a video here at Grimal Grove. I'm in Big Pine Key down here in the Florida Keys, one of my favorite places to come and visit. Well, I actually get to travel around the state a bit, and a lot's changed since we were here last. It's very unfortunate. I mean, this place was, densely filled with large trees, and we've had like a really major hurricane come through. This key, I think, got it worse than any other keys, throughout the Florida Keys. It wasn't half as bad over at Key West, just from that side of the storm. And I mean, everything here on this island was pretty much leveled. What you see left are some really tough trees. So they were hit really hard. You can see they have a new fence up now, and there's some trees that held on. One of those in particular being that sapodilla. Those are super tough. I'm loving the palmettos up here in the fence. I do see a big mango. It looks like it was really hard pruned and it's growing back out. If it wasn't blown down, it was completely stripped of the leaves. Maddie over there at the cable park told me that even every single mangrove down here was stripped. I mean, there was no leaves left anywhere. So this place was like I said, hit really hard. Some things have changed here, and there's a new planting, kind of a new direction, a lot of kind of cool stuff going on. And I'll tell you, I had some technical difficulties here with my gimbal. And I'm at a point where I love this smooth footage. I couldn't shoot without the gimbal. I had to drive up to Homestead this morning, bought another gimbal. I'm running on that new one now, so kind of messed up the whole schedule. Patrick was actually supposed to be here. I'm going to catch him in Homestead, so we're going to go see Patrick and talk about it and kind of cut that in for y'all. Let Melissa do her magic with the editing, so hold tight.
Welcome back to Grimal Grove. I'm Patrick Garvey, owner and operator of Grimal Grove. It's been a couple years since you guys seen the place, since Pete's been down, and a lot of things have changed. There was a little storm called Hurricane Irma that passed through the property, and that has changed the landscape tremendously. It's been a couple tough years trying to rebuild Grimal Grove and trying to figure out how to bring back this beautiful food forest. It's, as we all know, living in the Keys, living in Florida, hurricanes are part of life, and when you get hit with what they call a storm of the century, it definitely changes your life. But a lot of positive things have happened since then, and I just want to share what's going on. So out of the trees that we had on the property, we had about 150 before Irma. We lost probably 75% of the trees. Of the historic Grimal trees, we lost about, there was probably about 40 some to start. There was about 40 to start with, and we lost about half of those. So we have about 20 of the Grimal originals. Most of them now are finally looking to be pretty stable. And we're excited that his Lancetilla mango made it, the Grimal original, the Lancetilla mango. So that's great to see. We also have the Grimal jaboticaba that's still hanging in there, and hopefully that'll continue to come back. We have actually my favorite. We have the alupeg, and that's the one that Grimal brought in 1958. Introduced that to the United States. He and Bill Whitman both had one of those, and that's related to the lychee and the longan, and it's quite rare, possibly only one of several in the country, and somehow that made it, and so really excited to have that. That was actually my tree. After the storm, I lived in a little camper illegally, and that tree was closest to me, so all my coffee grinds and I guess urine went to help that tree out, and it looked great. So that was really great to see. A couple cacaos made it. Our kit mango made it, which is a great tree. The velvet apples are still kicking it and actually producing a lot of fruit this summer. We had a bunch of fruit from the kit mango as well. Just we did lose some stuff that was really tough to lose, and like the Nuaga sapote and the kwai muck, the Grimal kwai muck, we lost that. Just recently, the balimbi And one thing when you go through these storms that have been devastated by both the wind and also the salt, we had about 3 feet of storm surge over the entire property, and 180 mile an hour winds. It definitely stresses those trees out. It takes a while for them to come back, and they kind of die. It takes time for them also to die. They try to survive and come back, but it just over time they seem to die back. But we're moving forward. So we ended up getting a fence up around the perimeter of the property, which was step number 1. Because the key deer, our beautiful little key deer, like to eat everything, and they were quite hungry after the storm, so they were mowing down whatever they could. So we got the chain link fence up, and that's actually an improvement from before. And we also planted out a breadfruit grove. So we now have 25 breadfruit trees, mostly the Maafala, which is a coastal variety. It can handle more or less salt tolerant enough. And we also have one that's on the property right now that's fruiting, that Pete got some footage of, and that's doing well. So we really want to experiment with breadfruit this time around. That's our primary crop. We're going to keep planting some rare and exotic fruit trees, as well as some trees that avocados and mangoes and starfruit that will also produce some income, generate some income at the markets. So we're trying to create that balance. With the breadfruit, we hope to do a lot of propagation, as well as fruit sales. We work with some chefs. We were already working with some chefs before the storm on selling the breadfruit and utilizing that in their menus. We have several varieties of breadfruit. We have the Maafala, we have the white, we have the Pua, and we have the Ulu. And I believe we have one more variety. But when I was planting these breadfruit trees last year, some rare varieties that I was able to find. I had them documented, but I had a rat that invaded my camper and ate some of my notes, so I lost the exact details. One of those things when you go through when you lose everything in a storm and everything kind of goes wrong. It's kind of like a Job effect in life, and you just kind of have to learn to let go and just do the best you can each day. Making sure we're logging the trees properly, making sure everything's being documented again. Good news is actually the pond that we had before, or the rainwater catchment cistern that we had before. We finally got that up and running, and that's holding water. So we have that as a little water feature. We've planted some water lilies, and we'll be doing some other stuff as well in the near future. Our goal with the property is again to be a community resource, to really be a place of education for growing tropical fruit, for people to understand where their food comes from, what they can do in the Florida Keys, but also for tourists to see what can be grown in the tropics without having having the need to get a passport. So it's coming slowly. We do want to do more of a food forestry style. I want to get some more pineapples in, some more bananas, papaya. But right now we have an iguana issue, and they'll eat the leaves and the flowers. So we got to take care of the iguanas first. So we hope to do tours starting January 2020. So check us out on Facebook, Instagram, our website, thegrimalgrove.org. For any information, we're going to be doing some more musical events out there this coming spring as well. So just come on and check us out. It's kind of exciting to rebuild and reclaim our tropical fruit heritage in Big Pine Key and share it with you all. So hope to see you. Come down to volunteer and keep growing.
Pound dirt.